I thought I was fired. I was like, they're never bringing me back. They're never bringing me back. I'm fired. It's done. You can't say that. You can't say that. What are you doing? It's a sponsorship. I can't say that. Yo.
You stopped at a good time, buddy.
Welcome to Season 2 of Brawlhalla Origins. This season's lineup is packed with awesome guests from various backgrounds in the Brawlhalla community. Join our VIP list by signing up at season2.brawlhallaorigins.com to get early access to each episode, special clips, giveaways, and behind-the-scenes updates. Today's guest is ZipMasterFlex. He's an official caster for Brawlhalla Esports and can be found regularly commentating during major and community tournaments.
But is his beard better than mine, bro?
Oh no, oh no.
I mean...
Brawlhalla Origins is presented by Brawl Academy. Brawl Academy's mission is to provide the best educational content for improving at Brawlhalla to support competition long-term by bringing in and leveling up new talent. Learn more at brawlacademy.com. Brawlhalla Origins Season 2 is sponsored by SIB Esports. Go support them and follow what they do over at esportssib.com.
Welcome to another episode of Brawlhalla Origins. Today, I've got the one and only ZipMasterFlex with me. How's it going, dude? How are you doing today?
It's going good, man. Been a nice, solid day. Hanging out, waiting to do karaoke later, man. That's it, man. I don't do nothing on Wednesdays.
Oh, man. Karaoke sounds fun, though.
Heck yeah. Oh, yeah. I do it every Wednesday. It's my jam. Nice. I go every Wednesday, get faded and sing some songs.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So for any new people that are tuning in for the first time, the point of Brawlhalla Origins is I am interviewing notable people inside the Brawlhalla community and asking them about their history with the game. So to kick things off, I'll ask my usual first question. How did you find Brawlhalla?
How did I find Brawlhalla? So in 2017, I saw someone playing it on stream, a fellow Killer Instinct player. He just took a day off of playing KI and he was streaming Brawlhalla. And I saw him playing it, and my initial take was, that game looks stupid. I think the little chibi characters with the big heads, like, I was not a fan. And so I saw that, and then he asked me to come play, and I played a couple games with him on stream. And then we'll just say that was that, right? Then 2019, one of my friends, I get off of work, and I jump on Xbox, and one of my friends at that time is playing Brawlhalla too. And I jump in his party, and instantly I go, you serious? Why are you playing that? And he's like, dude, I promise you, this game is mad fun. I let him know I played a couple games back in the day, 2017. And I was like, I mean, it wasn't, the gameplay was cool, but like, why do the characters look like that? Yeah. And he's like, just load up and play right now. I played that day with him for a few hours, and it was wraps. I didn't play anything else for months. I just kept playing Brawlhalla. Man, I loved it. So that was my introduction to Brawlhalla.
Okay. You mentioned you mentioned KI. For I guess people that might not know you from the Brawlhalla community, like, what kind of is your sort of like background and history with other titles outside of Brawlhalla?
So I started competitively playing. I used to play at a local level at in Marvel 3 way back. Okay. And then Killer Instinct came out, and that's when I was like, all right, I think I'm about to try my hand in playing tournaments for real. And so Killer Instinct, that was the game, that was the community for me. That was everything I needed. I think it was because I competed in Gears of War 3 and 2 back in the day, right? So it wasn't my first competitive game, but it was my first competitive fighting game, and nothing ever made me feel like Gears of War. Like even Marvel 3, like I loved it, but it didn't make me feel like Gears of War. And then Killer Instinct made me feel like Gears again. Like it was everything, the community, there was the toxicity I liked, there was the nice people I liked, there was the people that were willing to train with you that you can't really find everywhere, online, offline. It was just, everything just happened correctly. And so I ended up going to tournaments for that game. I did okay. I never won like a giant title. I got 2 regionals. Never won a big title. I have a couple top 8s at big tournaments. And but yeah, that was my kicker. and I started casting with that game, like literally everything. My best friends, like my real life best friends, were met during that game. We fly out and we meet each other, we hang out. I talk to them every single day, phone or on the game or Discord, whatever, right? Like that game means everything to me. And so, you know, Killer Instinct started all this for me. I would still be in hotel management if I didn't play Killer Instinct and become a caster based off of that game. You know what I mean?
Okay. So
that was my start, yeah.
Okay, so in Killer Instinct was when you got into casting? Can you tell me a little bit about Can you tell me a little bit about how that kind of process went for you? Like, how did you transition from like a player into a caster, or did you still play while you were casting, or was it one of those kind of switches?
At first, I still played. Okay, so the way it worked was that there was a tournament I used to run called the Shadow Arena, and to be honest, I didn't even understand the concept of casting back then. So when I used to run that tournament, I would just talk to the chat over it, and then if I saw something cool, I'd get hype about it, and then I would just talk to the chat. And they took that as I was casting because I would talk about the game because I thought the game was so cool, so I could just inherently talk about the game. They would say I was casting. I wasn't casting. I was just talking. And so they ended up thinking I was funny, so I would be like, okay, people would ask me to come cast their tournament, and I would do online stuff for people. And the first offline I ever did was Combo Clash in San Antonio, Texas. The first offline casting I ever did. I went to that tournament. I got 9th place, and they do a break in between top 8 and 9th, right? So it was about an hour and a half break, and I left and I went to the bar to drink my sorrows away from losing. And there's a clip of me losing that match, and I melted down on stage. Like I was hurt. I was hurt. so I left, and I was just going to enjoy myself at a bar, and I get a call, and from a number I don't even know. To this day I don't know how Charlie got my number. Guy calls my phone, and I was like, "Who is this?" And he's like, "Is this Zip?" And I was like, "Yes, who is this?" He's like, "It's Charlie." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Brandon wants to know if you want to come back and cast top 8. He's like, one of the casters didn't show up. And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, hurry up. They're starting in like 15 minutes. So I speed back over there. I'm a couple drinks in, and I throw the headset on, and I cast it offline for the first time, nervous as heck. And I did that, got good feedback, and I was like, you know what? I actually like this. Like, I'm gonna see how do you actually get to do this full time. And I kind of rolled from there. Just did a lot of free work for a very long time, and then there was a blurred line. Like my lady had to be like, "What? Like, when are you gonna like ask for money? Like, when are you gonna, you know what I mean?" So I started asking for nickel and dimes at first. I wasn't trying to charge too much to people, you know. Mm-hmm. The KI community didn't really have money like that, right? So it was like hard to ask people for money, you know. So, but I started asking for like maybe 50 here, and then I upped it to 75. And then okay, let me get 100. And they were willing to pay because I did a good job. I, toot my own horn. I think I did a good job. So they were willing to pay. The community held me up. I did what I could for them. If they needed a discount, I did a discount. And I took that road, and then I started branching into other games, man. That was the start.
Awesome.
Well, I didn't answer the part because you said, was I still competing? So I was competing. Okay. I was still competing while I was casting for about a year. And the time when I quit, there was this online series that was sponsored by Microsoft, and I qualified for the finals. But there was another guy, and my heart wasn't into the competition. And there was this dude named Latalis that he was right outside of qualifying. Mm-hmm. And so I gave him my qualifying spot. And I was like, you know what? If they'll let me cast the finals, you can have my spot. When I did that, this was what made me go, okay, I'm done. When I did that, James Goddard from Microsoft saw that I did that because he was the one like back in the tournament, and then he gave me his Evo fight stick, Killer Instinct fight stick. This thing's kind of dusty because I haven't used it in a minute, but yeah, he gave me his Evo Killer Instinct fight stick.
Oh, that's sick!
Heck yeah, man! And then they gave me a pretty nice check to cast that, and I said, you know what? If he was that grateful and I made this dude that happy for giving up my spot, I will just get out of this game and compete and stuff, and I'll just go straight into casting. Like that was the day that I just stopped. I wasn't competing anymore.
Gotcha. Damn, that's cool. that makes kind of a little bit of a natural segue to talk about how you got into casting for Brawlhalla. So, like, how did you kind of make that leap into casting for Brawlhalla? Like, what was your first event, and then how did you kind of turn into, like, because you're pretty well known at this point, I think, for Brawlhalla casting. So let's talk about that progression a bit.
I will say I probably had the luckiest intro. The luckiest. There's nobody that cast this game that has the luckiest intro that I had. All right.
Okay.
It was during the pandemic. And it was during the pandemic, and I was working from home at the time for this. I was working for Google Fi, doing my position was called concierge. It was a stupid position. They nixed it after I quit anyway, so like it was an unnecessary position. Anyway, I was working one day, and I was like, man, I want some more casting gigs, and I don't know what game I want to move into. And casting was getting stale for me. It was the pandemic. It was hard to get gigs already, and I was like, I was getting to the point where I was like, I'm about to quit trying this mess. I'm about to be done. And so, but anyway, I was playing Brawlhalla at the time. Like I said, it became one of my main games. And I'm working, and I was like, let me see something. And I don't remember what website I went to. I somehow found Foda's email.
Okay.
In a couple clicks. And I just was like, all right, here we go. And I shot him an email with my reel in it. And he responds back that he's seen my work. So I guess Foda watched KI. He says that he's seen my work. Yeah. Right? He said he's seen my work, and he goes, let's have a call. And now, I'll tell you right now, at the time, I didn't know anything about Brawlhalla Esports. I just knew I loved the game.
Okay.
So we get on a call, and he asked me, all right, what character is this weapon combo? And I named it. I'm right, okay? And he asked me this. And then, he starts asking me a few questions about characters and weapons. Well, is this combo true? Stuff like that. He's just grilling me. Then he goes, all right, who's your favorite esports team? And I was like, all right, this is where he's going to be like, get this guy out of here. Because I was like, all I know is Boomy and Sandstorm. And I go, Boomy and Sandstorm. And he busts out laughing. And then he goes, all right, man. All right, that sounds good. That was a good call. I'll get back to you and let you know. And I was like, all right, well, I knew I failed it right there. That was the end of it. And he emails me back in like 2 days, and he says, all right, our production lead's going to get in contact with you. He's going to send you some equipment, and next weekend, you're going to be doing the Southeast Asia. The first one I did was the Southeast Asia Autumn Championship.
Wow.
He threw me in there for the 2v2s.
Was that in 2020?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was terrified, brother. Like I said, I didn't know the players. You know what I mean? He knew I didn't know the players. That's why he threw me on that. He said it was going to be lighter viewership. But here's the funny part. While I'm casting it, right, my homie texts my phone, and I go, I'm casting, and we're off camera, and I look real quick, and he says, dude, there's 50,000 people watching this. And I was like, oh, God.
That's lower viewership, by the way.
Right, dude, right. I was terrified. But yeah, I ended up doing that. And then he brought me back, and I did the Southeast Asia finals that year too. That was my second one, the Southeast Asia finals.
Wow.
And yeah, I did a pool, if I'm not mistaken. No, because they didn't have the side stream at the time. So I did I think the top 8 leading into top 4 for Australia. And then I closed Australia. I closed Southeast Asia that year. And so he threw me on some pretty high stuff that year, and I was not ready, but I think I did a good enough job. And so yeah. That was how I got in Brawlhalla, man. For casting.
They keep bringing you back, so you must have done something right?
Yo. So I have a little tidbit for you. There was a time, I don't remember if it was during the Southeast Asia Championships or if it was one that the next year when we came back.
Okay.
But it was right when they got the Walking Dead crossover. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I'm casting with TK. I thought I was fired. I was like, they're never bringing me back. They're never bringing me back. I'm fired. It's done. So they bring me in there, and I'm super early with them, right? This is like couple in. I've never met them in person. Like, they don't have any reason to keep me, right? So I'm really thinking I'm fired after this. I'm cast in with TK. We get something happens technically, and they just like fill air, and me and TK are stuck filling air for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, TK, it's like we're losing things to talk about. And I go, TK, what do you think about this this Walking Dead crossover, man? How'd you like the show? And TK says, I didn't really watch the show. He says I stopped around season 5 or something like that. And for me, that was when I stopped too. And I said, you stopped at a good time, buddy. You can't say that. You can't say that. What are you doing? It's a sponsorship. I can't say that. Yo.
You stopped at a good time, buddy.
You know, because I stopped there. I came back and I finished the show afterwards, right? But
okay.
You know, I'm caught up, right? I still like the show, right? But yeah, I said that, and as soon as I was done casting, Foda DM me and goes, "What the man? Are you serious? You gotta be more professional than that." He writes me this paragraph, and I was like, "I'm never coming back. It's over." And then the next one comes, and he's like, "Here's your blocks." I was like, "What?" I got done with that, and I told my lady, I was like, "Babe, it's over. I'm fired.
It's over.
I'm done." Oh my gosh. Man. Yeah, that was hilarious.
That's a good one. Yeah, no, I mean, if nothing else, they are big on helping people kind of get past issues like that. I think, like, as long as you don't like really blow up something on the air, I think generally speaking, they're going to try to work with you and help you get through like little things like that. Although, I mean, the size of that tournament and the size of that sponsorship, maybe it wasn't that little, but
it wasn't little. I mean, it literally, after I said it, I was like, that was stupid.
Oh no.
I was like, that was dumb. And I was like, maybe he won't say anything. He waited until I was done, and he lit me up. And then I responded to him. He didn't say anything back. I was like, oh, it's over.
Oh no.
He's never hitting me up again.
Jeez. Oh, that's crazy. Do you have so that was good. Do you have any other like funny or interesting stories about like things that have happened while you were casting similar to that, or
no, nothing. Like, that was the only time I like really fumbled the bag, right, or anything crazy. Okay. You know, but like obviously there's like funny moments casting.
Sure.
And it's just little stuff. Like, one of my favorite moments, the little goofball moment. I don't know if you saw that clip when I was eating the cake. It was somebody's birthday. It was Duke's birthday.
Oh, okay.
We did a intermission, did a little birthday thing for him, went to break. Yeah. And when we came back, I was sitting there eating the cake on camera.
Uh-huh.
So that was a gag set up by Toast. He was like, dude, it'd be funny. I don't know if you want to do this. If he's like, it'd be funny if you just act like you're still eating and you don't realize that we went live when we come back. So that was like, you know, that's the little fun stuff that they like to do behind the scenes. That was not set up by me. You know, so just little stuff like that, man. They're super fun to work with. Every one of them, like, I love casting with Sparky, Duke, Taza, all of them cats, man. And then obviously the guys that aren't BMG, you know, Ajax and Flambeau and TK. Those are my dudes. So I love casting with all of them and working with all of them.
Awesome. I want to kind of go back a little bit and talk about something that you mentioned earlier on. You mentioned that you played Gears of War professionally originally. Yeah. Was that like kind of your first kind of dive into esports? And then what was kind of like that? What was that kind of like back then?
So it was more of, I was not pro. I was like, I mean, I guess you could call it semi-pro. I was just a competitive player. Let's say that.
Yeah.
I was a competitive player. We didn't have a sponsorship. We used to do game battles. I had a team that I played with, and we would enter any tournament we could. We won a couple of good prizes, split them, you know, nothing huge. We weren't a big team, and we didn't get to go do the offline big stuff. We did do one regional tournament offline, and we did okay at that. But yeah, that was my first dive in, really, like being in that real competitive hot seat and going against another team, and trash talk is flying, and feeling like back when I played basketball in high school, right? Like that organized competitive spirit again. That was the first time I felt that again. So that was awesome.
Okay. Yeah. The reason that I ask is, so like my background was before Brawlhalla, it was shooters. So I started in Call of Duty. And so back in the day, it was, I think I started in Black Ops 1 was when I started kind of getting real into like, okay, I'm kind of good at this game. I should see what else is kind of out there. And that was the days where like you said, game battles, MLG, like all that stuff was like huge. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah.
Oh, so you competed in COD and all that?
Yeah.
Did you ever get on a team or anything?
Like you, I was not professional. I was a competitive player.
Gotcha. There we go. Yeah, definitely just a competitive player.
Yeah. MLG came to Orlando once, and I went to that, and that was sick. Like, that was my first, like, actually being in a venue, kind of, like, seeing how the whole thing comes together, and that got me hooked. And from there, I was, like, always kind of chasing that, like, when can I do this again kind of thing. And then eventually ended up, like, Brawlhalla, and Brawlhalla also came to Orlando with CEO Dreamland in 2017. I think it was 2017. Okay. And that was my first like Brawlhalla land. And I was like, oh, I like this. Even though I went 0-2. I was like, nope. This is my game now.
That's funny. That is funny.
So, yeah. So, yeah, having that like early entry into shooters, I think, was so when you mentioned Gears of War, I was like, oh, there's some like commonality here that I wanted to explore.
Did you ever play Gears?
I played a little bit of Gears. I was significantly worse at it. I don't know what it is about third-person shooters that made me like it did not work with the way that my brain works.
I can dig that.
Because I feel the same way about Fortnite too. It was like third-person shooters just mess with my brain for some reason. So
see, I'm the opposite. Like I'm terrible at first-person shooters. I guess I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm the worst.
Okay.
I just can't get past. I get to a blockade and I can't progress and I can't get better. I feel like third-person games, like I can just feel like the infinite skill.
Yeah.
I can just keep growing and growing. No matter the work, depending on the work I put in. With FPSs, man, I just was like, dude, I suck, and that's what it is.
I think part of it is like there's more mechanical aspects to third-person shooters, in my opinion, especially for games like Gears, where you've got like the wall bouncing and things like that to it that you have to like factor in as well, and just like the different perspective makes it where it's like positioning matters a little bit more,
definitely,
and like how you make yourself visible to other like people in the game, and like the routes that you take are more impacted by having more like awareness and like visuals, whereas like because first person shooters is just like, all right, this is your viewport, this is your crosshair, point at a thing and it dies. Like it's all about like the mechanical aiming skill, and I was good at that when I was young. I'm significantly less good at that today.
It's the reaction times, man. We're losing that, bro. It's the reaction time.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the rough stuff. These young kids got it.
Yeah, that's kind of the raw mechanical timing of things is like probably the main thing holding me back at being super good at Brawl at this point. So,
bruh, I'm telling you, some of the stuff when I'm casting, some of the stuff, like my reactions are genuine because I cannot understand how they react to certain things. Like it's insane to me. It's absolutely insane to me.
Do you have any so of any of the events that you've watched or any of the events that you've casted, do you have any like memorable or like favorite games or sets that you've casted?
Bro, my favorite moment ever was not this championship, but last year's BCX when me and Ajax were casting the 2v2 closeout and Acno did that clutch, bro.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Hands down, no questions asked. That is the greatest moment. I don't.
Okay. No, that's
the
a good
greatest
one.
moment. That
is a good one.
You know what I mean? Boomy and Snowy winning, and getting that moment, like shout out to giving me that moment to cast that finals closeout. That was fire. I love that too. That getting to close that final moment, but that clutch was just.
Yeah,
I was in awe. Like we were in a little booth in the back, and I was just like, because if you watch it, I'm talking, and then Ajax takes over when it's actually finishing, and I'm just sitting there in the booth like this, like, what the?
Yeah,
that was it. That was my favorite moment. Period.
That's awesome. Yeah, there've definitely been some crazy plays that have happened over the years, and it feels like they just keep getting crazier. And like players' mechanical skill is just constantly improving, and then like with some of the new mechanic updates, with like the way that the dash landing cancel stuff works now, and now the BCX is over, they've changed the way that backdash works. Foda was talking on a dev stream not long ago about how they're going to try to improve the way that wall clings work as well. Like 2024 is going to be a wild year, like. Because I feel like it was like halfway through this year, I think, was when some of the first dash changes started to come in. And so we get to BCX, and like people have kind of adapted to it, but it's only been like a few months at this point where people are really starting to understand how to utilize it. And then going into next year, you've got those two changes together with more time under everyone's belt. Everybody's got more of an opportunity to figure out how this fits into their gameplay. How do they make it more optimal? Like, I think 2024 is going to be crazy,
bro. I'm there for you. I'm there with you. I mean, it's gonna be some good stuff, man. I'm excited for it. Yeah. I want to see you know every year when they do the announcement of how much the tournament circuit's worth. You know, I'm ready to see Twitter lose their mind. Like how do they keep getting all this money? I'm becoming a Brawl player, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see that moment, and then let's see how they line it up, because I like the concept this year. They did the Royales. They brought some DreamHack and things like that. I want to see. I think people have a gripe that they shouldn't do the Royales because it gives people less chances to play offline with each other. It's like, but bro, I think that's one of the best things in esports is giving top players a chance to be celebrity. Does that make sense? So they have to me, they have to keep that. But I do want to see what else they decide to do.
I would love to see the Royales continue, because it's also a really good way to showcase like that cross-region sort of like competitiveness as well. Because like the nice things about the Royales is because they're smart, or they're small and they're invitationals, it lets them say, okay, well, let's fly people out from Europe. Let's fly people out from South America. They get their invites. Everybody comes in and they all play. And the round robin format is so good for this too.
For sure.
But just having that way to have the regions come in and have that just clash every so often in a way that's just like, it's so good. Yeah. No, I'm excited for the Royales. I'm excited for all the news on like next year's events. Like, I'm hoping for more lands. I think everybody's hoping for more lands. It would be cool to have more offline events for like that are open to the public. But yeah, I think that's like January, like mid-January or something. I don't know for sure, but
somewhere in there. That's when they start to announce, like early January, mid, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
because they got to do it early, because first tournament that comes around spring,
winter. Yeah, we have winter champs.
Winter, that's
that
right
should
there.
be end of January, beginning of February. One of those two.
Exactly right. So they have to announce it early Jan, something like that. I'm here for it. I'm excited.
Nice. So you mentioned also getting into other games besides Killer Instinct and Brawlhalla. What other games are you kind of involved in from casting at this point?
So I've done a bunch of different fighting games. I mean, I've done Injustice 2. I did a little bit of MK11. Right now, I'm working on Street Fighter 6. I just did one the other day on Saturday. I have high school league I'm going to be doing on Thursday for Street Fighter 6. A little bit further back, right before I got into Brawl, I was doing a kids league, and I casted Clash Royale. Then I've done regional Rainbow Six Siege. I've done a good amount of games. Right now, my focal point is I'm trying to get into Apex. So like, cross fingers. Hopefully this year I get some ALGS action. So we'll see what's happening. Cool. Mm-hmm.
Nice. So for people that have gotten kind of big into casting, I always want to ask for other people that might be interested in getting into casting. Do you have any sort of like advice that you would give to people that are kind of just starting out? Like, what kind of recommendations would you make if somebody wants to get involved in, any game, not just Brawlhalla?
So, the best advice I can give you is there's two things. Understanding that the job is not to be noticed. People try to get on cast and they want to be this outlying thing on the stream that you're paying attention to. Your job is just to fill the air. Your job is to make the match have a back tone. That's it, right? So and people get on there and want to be stand-up comedians, like they think they're hilarious. Now, that doesn't mean it's wrong to make jokes and have personality, but your first job needs to be taken care of first. Making sure you're speaking properly and clean and concise. Make sure your knowledge is correct, and make sure that you are working with your co-caster smooth and not talking over them. If you're doing that part right, now let your personality shine. And as long as they got that, and so the advice I would give is find somebody that is top of the food chain, watch them, and just watch what they like to, the things that they focus on speaking about. Watch that, copy that, and then put your personality into that. And then you will develop your own style after that. But you need to see what being a true caster is, and then emulate it, and then your personality can come through afterwards. Don't just get on the mic and be like, I'm casting, guys, and this game is cool, and that, like, I'm just making jokes, and man, pow, that stuff is not. You're not gonna go anywhere if you do that.
Right.
You trying to be a personality on the cast, you're not going anywhere. You gotta be a caster first, then you can be you.
Okay. Dang, that's pretty good. Okay. That's really good advice. Along the same lines, as far as like, you seem from everything you've said so far, you seem like you're very good at outreach and like chasing after the opportunities that you want. What kind of how would you recommend people go about finding that work, and then like being that person that like chases after it and does the reach outs, and what do you need? What do you need to get to that point, I guess, is the question there.
That's a tough one, brother. There's casters out here. We're still figuring it out, dog. But but to be real, like the first place of it is like, I think I myself isn't a good person to ask because I don't have a social media following. I'm terrible with social media, and so like some people can rely on their celebrity to get picked up for gigs, right?
Right.
And I can't do that. I don't have celebrity. So I go in and I'll go to Twitter, or I'll go to LinkedIn, right? I'll go to Twitter and I'll go to search and I'll type in a keyword and then tournament. And then just see if anybody's looking for casters. And I'll just start looking through. And I might see some random thing. They're like, you know what? I play that game. I'm going to see if they'll let me cast it. Even if it's free, right? And so I'll just go and just see if I can get it. And then now, okay, cool. I did that tournament, and now I have footage. And so the most important thing will be knowing where to look. First off, you go look, and then you just take what you can get and get footage. Once you have footage, you either make a reel or you just have line footage of a specific game that you casted and cut it into a good portion so that that'll be easy to digest for the person. And then you'll be like, hey, I would like to cast this tournament. Don't have a reel for it, but this is my this is my resume of tournaments I've done, and here is some footage of me casting this game. I would love to work for your brand or cast for your brand this weekend. And then they'll just let you know yes or no. And if you got all that and you start to get the footage together, then you start asking for money. You know, you say, hey, I would like to cast this event. What kind of rate are you guys offering? Or you just tell them what you want straight up. And then they either say yes or no. It's just a poking and prodding game, and then you start to know people, and then they refer you, and you know it just starts like that. But in the beginning, it's literally just get your footage together, just cast, start your own event, cast with friends, cast whatever will let you cast for whatever game you're trying to do. If it's free, then just do it. Like I have a couple Apex tournaments right now that are paying me, but I have one that's not paying me. And I will do it anytime they ask me because I need Apex footage and I need Apex practice, right? So it doesn't matter what level you're at. If you need that practice, do the game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm treating this as if I'm starting my casting career. So the same thing I'm doing with Apex, doing free gigs for these guys just so I can get footage together and then create an Apex reel. That's what somebody needs to do if they want to start.
Gotcha. Okay. I think it was a while back. It was like StarCraft 2 era. I think it was either Tasteless or Day 9, one of the two. One of the things that they suggested when people were getting into casting was take replays of games and just cast them.
So I never did that, but somebody did tell me to do that. And and I believe that that's a great idea. I just never did it. Newsflash, I'm freaking lazy. You know, that takes a way more effort than I'm willing to do. So I would rather
more effort than actually casting a tournament, though.
Yes, it does. If somebody has a tournament set up, then all I have to do is come sit down and
yeah.
Right?
True.
But then if I want to do that route, I need to rip the file, download it off of YouTube, and then I gotta set it up, and I gotta sync my audios, and then I gotta cast it, and I gotta fake cast it at that. You know what I'm saying? That is a way more effort. It's definitely a good idea. If you got the drive, you do it out there, guys. But I'm good, Chief.
Oh man, that's great. And you don't have to say Brawlhalla just because this is a Brawlhalla podcast. But at the moment, what is your favorite game to cast?
Okay, so the funny thing is, I don't want to be cliche and say that because of this, right?
Right.
But coming off of BCX, like, this is straight up my favorite game to cast. Okay. It doesn't matter. I came off of BCX, man, and this is dog. Even though, like I had some turmoil going into that tournament. You know, I was love you, Toast. I was upset that I didn't get main stage, and it all worked out. We had good conversations, and me and Toast is my dude to the end of days, boy. But yeah, I went in not happy, and still working with Slow-Mo on that side stream. The matches were amazing. The environment was great. Being with the Brawlhalla fam on that stage for the closeout, and you remember Duke and Sheepy and Sparky was crying, and then Toast comes up crying. It's like that feeling being with the fam. I don't want to cast nothing else, dog. Like, that's my jam. I mean, I do want to cast other stuff, but that is my jam. I love casting with them.
Yeah, no, that's I've heard that a lot from people that are involved in sort of like all of the production side of Brawlhalla, is that this game it's different. Like, it's just different.
It's different, dog. It hits different. Yeah. I think the way I could put it, I was more immersed in the KI community, right? I think on a community level, like, some people know me, you know what I mean? But I don't do that many community tournaments. I'll do them if somebody asks, but they rarely ask. And not to be greedy, it's because they know I'm going to ask for somebody. And sometimes they pay me and they'll let me do it. And sometimes they just like, hey man, can you do this? And it's only going to be $25. I'm like, nah, Chief. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, but I was more immersed in the KI community. So I would say this: if KI had the production and was as big as Brawlhalla, I would be able to say that could probably rival it because I'd be with my peers and things like that. But that game doesn't have that. So right now it's Brawlhalla for sure. Right now it's Brawlhalla for sure. In that team, working with that team, even if KI was popping, I don't think they would have a production team that could rival BMG. Like I love working with them. That's my peers. Yeah. Every time I'm around them, it's like they're just good energy. We're all so different, and sometimes, like outside of being on camera, like I'm a little abrasive, man. Like I'm a loud dude, you know what I mean? And I kind of swear a lot, you know what I mean? And sometimes I feel like I wouldn't be their flavor of person. Like I think that sometimes, and but then, we hang out and they don't judge, and the next time you see them, they want to hug, and they just accept you for you. That's my people. Like literally, like, when I come home, I tell my kids and my lady, I'm like, that's my other family. That's my peeps. I don't know if they think that about me, but that's my peeps.
That's awesome. I mean, I've hung out with all those people too, and I get it. I love them all. So it's really cool to hear other people kind of describe kind of working with BMG that way, because it really is like I have not done production or like too much casting, but I've kind of watched a lot of it from the sidelines and seen like how people work and how they operate across not just Brawlhalla but other games as well. And I would struggle to come up with anybody that cares and is constantly trying to level up everything that they do in the same way that like Toast and his crew are.
Always
trying to take things to the next level. It's just crazy. It's like they are way beyond most other esports, I feel, at this point. Like they could probably get away with like chilling for a bit.
Honestly, I really think so. But
but they won't.
It's that drive they have. They really care about their job. They really care about the game. They care about the community. It's like, you know what I'm saying? They could chill, but like you said, they won't.
Yeah, they won't.
Toast that dude is a nut. My man's dude. Like, I don't know if you've ever like seen him on one of his. He won't stop working, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've left the studio and came back the next day and been like, "What's up, man?" And he's just like, "Nothing much, man. Working." And then David's like, "Yeah, Toast was here all night trying to fix this audio issue. Da 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 da. He hasn't slept yet." And I'm like, "Dude, we're about to be in here for 9 hours today. What is this guy doing?"
Yeah, no, Toast is something else, man. He is. I'm glad that he's taking a real vacation. All the bird pictures he's posting on Twitter right now, dude.
What even is that?
I don't know. All I know is that dude is supposed to actually be on vacation right now, like actually mostly disconnected, and we're just getting bird pictures. And I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. What's funny is my brother is terrified of birds. So he would have, if he was following Toast right now, he would block him. Easy. Easy. He would get him out of there, off the feed.
That's crazy. Oh, man.
As soon as I saw the ostrich, I was like, oh, yeah, he would have blocked the mess out of him. Ostrich is the one. My bro is scared of ostriches.
That's my wife. My wife is like, no, get it away. I can't do ostriches. It's just ostriches in particular. Like, that's a funny-looking bird to me. Oh, it's a funny-looking bird to me, but to her, that's like, no, that's terrifying. Get that the hell away from me.
Oh, yeah. You might as well be Hellraiser, dude. It might as well be Hellraiser.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, man. We're getting pretty close to the end of our time together. Do you have any sort of like thoughts or comments that you want to share kind of to the wider community? on Brawlhalla, or kind of your involvement or anything to that nature?
I mean, you mean like anything? Like just broad?
Like anything? What you got something on your chest you want to share with the whole community?
you know though, I'll tell you one thing. Gosh darn it! How about you people out there when you're watching? Stop saying, "Can I make it to the end of the prize?" Can y'all just talk about the tournament in the chats, please? Sweet dear Bobby Jesus. Every time I open up the chat, I just want to come in there and talk about the cool plays that are happening. Then guys are like, 675, 420.
Can I make it?
337. Can I make it? How long till stream ends? Jeez, come on, bro. Enjoy the tournament, bro. Oh my, you don't understand what you have. Just enjoy the tournament.
Yeah.
Nah. Other than that, there's that, and then the other thing is like this one is serious and it needs to be fixed. In the community, guys, when you're playing ranked, stop only rematching if you lost. If you win, run the match back, bro. I'm so sick of you guys. Does this happen to you?
It happens a lot. It's the worst part is when someone 1-1s you, and they
dip exactly
without playing out the best of 3. Yeah,
exactly. They only rematch if they lose. If they win, they're out of there. They're taking your points and they're getting up out of there. I can't stand it. Or if somebody beats you really bad and they're like, "Oh, this guy's trash. I'm gonna get him twice." They'll give you one of those, and then you beat them the second one, and they're like, "Okay, cool. I'm not running this back."
Yeah,
guys, stop doing that, please.
People are very protective of their elo points, man. They do whatever they can to optimize that elo gain. Make sure they're not losing too much.
Whatever they can.
Oh,
man.
But
no. On a serious note, those two were. I was being serious, but like on a serious note, I just want to say, I hope for the time I've been with Brawlhalla that you guys have enjoyed me, right? Like enjoyed my casting. I give it everything I have every single time I get on that broadcast because the team cares so much that I have to care, and I love the game. I hope you guys enjoy it. All the pro players out there that give me the time of day, like I mean, they're kids, man, and they don't have to talk to Big Unk, you know what I'm saying? And they come up and they let me know they like my casting. They chop it up with me. At BCX, the players out there, just the everyday players, the guys that were just there to spectate and hang out. The energy y'all gave, man, showing me that y'all actually pay attention to my casting. You guys like it. Much love to all y'all out there. And like I said, this is my favorite game to cast, and I hope to do more next year, man. I want to do some more, and I can't wait till BCX. Please pull up. Come say hi if you ever see me at a DreamHack or BCX. Just say what's up. Say something to me on Twitter. We can play games. I don't care, bro. Like, I'm a very approachable person. Let me not say that. I'm kind of not, but I am at the same time. But yeah, that's my serious note, man. Much love to the Brawlhalla community for sure.
Nice. Well, I will speak on behalf of the Brawlhalla community and say that we are glad to have you involved in casting, and it's been great to see you just kind of going, man. You and TK and Ajax are some of my favorite casters. I love when you guys are on the mic. It's great.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I really appreciate
it. And I need to get TK and Ajax on the show soon too.
For sure.
Those will be real good too. But yeah, dude, thank you for coming on the show. I'm really glad you were able to make it and we were able to do this. But that's all for this episode of Origins. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you very much, Zip.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for watching this episode of Brawlhalla Origins. We'll be back next week with another episode. Join our VIP list by signing up at season2.brawlhallaorigins.com to get early access to each episode, special clips, giveaways, and behind-the-scenes updates. See you next week.